the new playlist a spin. This season is all about luxury cars. If you've played the Ferrari playlist, you know what I mean. But it doesn't end there. The festival has invited numerous guests and brands to take part over the years. And now, the most prestigious brands are opening their doors to us. Our luxury car authority, the Archivist, has been invited by the greatest European luxury car manufacturers to discuss a common passion for beautiful vehicles and to show us the places where these jewels are formed. A grand tour of Europe that you'll be getting a taste of in this new playlist experience. Onto the container. You'll discover everything this voyage was about.
As the MOTORFEST archivist, I had the privilege to be invited by prestigious European car manufacturers for a special visit. This was the beginning of my European tour, and the starting point for your new car culture experience. My journey would let me spend time among the finest machines the old continent has produced. French elegance, German peak engineering.
Welcome to the Porsche Museum. First and foremost, Porsche is something you have to drive. You have to sit in, you have to feel. If you sit in the car, then you directly recognize this is a Porsche.
British craftsmanship.
Experience the bike that we already love. Character, performance, detail, quality, style.
I'll relate my journey for you and for my archives. These are my luxury chronicles.
This time, the MOTORFEST will deliver this playlist to you on a weekly basis. Each week, a new chapter of the Luxury Chronicles for you to enjoy the luxury cars throughout the whole season. What is next in line? The tour starts now. Our archivist has documented the whole thing, so we can share with you here in Hawaii his luxury chronicles. Each car you'll be driving in this playlist is related to our archivist journey. Get to the event tag and discover what our Luxury Car Authority has in store for you.
My trip back to Europe would lead me first to France, with a schedule full of promise. I couldn't wait to meet the people from Bugatti, embodiment of French car luxury, and spend time with some of the most brilliant machines in the country. But my very first meeting was with an equally interesting manufacturer and a rather peculiar car. Genti Automobile and their first creation, the Accolone. My European journey was starting far from the buzzing cities, in the small village of Saint-Yor, in central France. When you get these notes, driver, you'll be driving the roads of Maui in the very cars I'm writing about, to get a proper French luxury feel without leaving Hawaii or the festival. The Accolone and Genti Automobile was such an interesting starting point for my tour. A newcomer to the French luxury car market, and their very first machine. This was very exciting. I got to learn everything I needed to know about this car. A car born from the passion of a creator who dreamed of building his own luxury hypercar with 4-figure horsepower and an unparalleled power-to-weight ratio from scratch. By the time you, driver, get my notes, the result should be in your hands. excellence, rarity, and soul. The Accolone by Genty Automobile.
How was this luxury ride for an introduction? For the next event of this playlist, we're going deeper into the French luxury car market. Get ready to hear everything about our Archivist's second stop.
Despite its rare and premium nature, luxury cars can take many forms and come from many places. Of course, they often come from well-established luxury manufacturers, and I was about to see a lot of these on my journey. But my visit at Genty has shown us that a luxury car can bloom from the vision and passion of a single person. And today, my second stop in France has shown that luxury cars can also come from manufacturers that usually keep their distance from the luxury world. This stop was about a French everyday car manufacturer, Citroën, and their famous Citroën GT. The GT is a car which, according to its main engineer in 2008, was meant to be the supercar of 2025, the same year as this European trip. Talk about apropos. This car was originally made for a video game, but it had such an impact that they decided to make it a reality. At the time, the possibility of having the GT be mass-produced was real. But in the end, the incredible vehicle would remain a concept car for the world to admire and a very privileged few to drive. With the Acolone and this Citroën GT, my tour was off to a great start. And it was only the beginning.
The next Luxury Chronicles episode is not ready yet, but don't go too far. It'll be... Today is a red letter day. You're signing up for one of our most exclusive experiences to date. A partnership with the quintessential sports car manufacturer, Ferrari, the prancing horse. An alliance that will for sure go down in MOTORFEST history. To be your guide on this pilgrimage through excellence, we've invited our resident scholar and authority on luxury cars, the MOTORFEST archivist. Sir, you're up.
Thank you, dear. Hello, driver. Pleased to meet you. As your lovely onboard assistance device just mentioned, I'll be your chaperone for this playlist. Although chaperone perhaps isn't the right word. More like a host, I believe. Well, this is not my usual job, but it is Ferrari we're talking about, so, well, how could I refuse? There are so many things I'd like to say, so many things I dug out from my archives. But first things first, let's get you to Maui's brand new Ferrari museum. Here you are. Look at this place. Let's drive to the main building. I believe the director of the Ferrari Museums has a few words to say.
My name is Michele Pignatti Morano. I am the director of the Ferrari Museums. Here we are where there is the birthhouse of Enzo Ferrari. Each Ferrari is different. Each Ferrari was the best in the world in design, performance, technology, putting all the best in one single car. Is a legend, is just exceptionally full of excellence.
This is Ferrari Supercars, a partnership with the Enzo Ferrari Museum of Modena. The next objective.
There's a particular kind of Ferrari we're going to speak a lot about today. The Ferrari supercars. The car you're about to drive in this opening event is none other than the first Ferrari in the supercar bloodline, the Ferrari GTO.
The first supercars that we can define is the GTO. GTO was very simple. If we just start from the name, it was Gran Turismo Omologato. The definition of supercars is very simple. It's the top expression of that period in design, performance, technology, putting all the best in one single car of that period. People call it the 288 GTO, but that is not the correct definition. The definition for that car is the GTO. Punto.
To Ferrari, supercar is a term that refers to milestones in motoring history. All supercars are limited series and the product of Enzo Ferrari's philosophy, aiming to make every new model the best car of its time. That means that every new addition to the lineage is the embodiment of leading-edge research that sets the standard for cars worldwide. You'll drive all the Ferrari supercars on this adventure, but for now, just enjoy the collector's piece that is the Gran Turismo Omologato, or like Mr. Pignati Morano said, simply GTO. This car is, in essence, a special version of another iconic Ferrari, the 308 GTS. And, as intended, it is one of the fastest street-legal production cars of its time. Interesting fact from my archives. Three-time racing world champion Niki Lauda owned one of the few GTOs produced. A gift from Enzo Ferrari himself. Beautiful sight. Takes me back to the Legacy Tour Ferrari organized back in 2024. A GTO tribute tour set in the stunning surroundings of the Italian Dolomites. organized exactly 40 years after Ferrari introduced the supercar at the 1984 Geneva Motor Show. But enough from me. Just listen to the car you're driving. She'll tell you her story herself. Welcome to the world of Ferrari, my young friend. A world where legends live among us to tell their stories loud and clear.
Okay, I leave you now.
I was delighted with that introduction. You may now head towards the northern part of the bay to make the acquaintance of the next two supercars in our Ferrari lineup. You heard me right. The next event will feature not one, but two cars for you to drive. On one hand, the inspired and inspiring Ferrari F40. And on the other hand, nothing less than a road-legal Formula One, the Ferrari F50. You're here. Mr. Pignati Morano will start with a few words, then I'll take over.
Which
The Ferrari F40. Enzo Ferrari's ultimate vision.
Everybody recognizes the F40. It sparks a memory. It has some magic. I see it in the museum. When people walk into a museum and see an F40, you really see the emotion in the eyes. The F40 stands out immediately. The F40 is such a beautiful masterpiece, and we still had Enzo Ferrari giving his input on that car. And I think that is extremely important. That makes this car even more precious. It was a relationship between the driver and the car, and that made it unique.
Ferrari F40, second vehicle of the manufacturer to earn the prestigious supercar status, and a car that has shaken the motorsports industry to its core. Timed to celebrate Ferrari's 40th anniversary, this Ferrari, bearing the apropos designation F40, was the last Ferrari automobile personally approved by Enzo Ferrari and made under the supervision of the Commendatore himself. The result is an aggressive car with animalistic behavior and a stripped-down interior befitting its obvious racing heritage. Brutal and uncompromising. A car that has since become the epitome of Ferrari's brand identity. A car that still is, in the heart of many, the greatest sports car ever made. And again, at the time, the fastest Ferrari ever created. This is a machine that has a mind of her own. Talk to her, listen to her, find your common ground, and you'll get one of the best driving experiences of your life. Looks like you two had a deep conversation out there. Very well. This is how you make history. I believe that you're now expected at the Hanauma racetrack. But first, let's get there with panache. Another special car is waiting for you. You've tried two of the 20th century's most popular Ferraris. But when it comes to beloved machines from the 80s and 90s, there's another red horse that undoubtedly comes to mind. The unmistakable pop culture icon, the Ferrari Testarossa.
When you ask people which is one of the most iconic cars that people remember, I think the Testarossa is definitely among these cars here. The technology that is inside, easily distinguishable from the side, which has the fins. It is one of those cars that everybody remembers. Testarossa is very simple. Translated from Italian is testa, head, rossa, red, so the red head.
The Ferrari Testarossa was quite the celebrity in her time. Movies, TV shows, magazines, and even video games, the Testarossa was everywhere, appealing to kids and adults alike. With its angular design, minimalistic lines, and signature side air intakes, this car was a poster child for aerodynamics. To be precise, the exact model MOTORFEST has put in your hands is the 1991 re-engineered version of the Testarossa, introduced as the 512 TR, featuring a redesigned interior and a refined exterior to improve its already spectacular lines. It looks like you're getting the perfect stretches of road between Maui and Oahu to take the whole measure of it. This was quite a breath of fresh air and nostalgia. You're here. It's time for you to get a real taste of Ferrari's racing DNA, the drive that gave birth to the supercar bloodline. And for this racing-themed experience, I went again through my archives to select not just one, but two vehicles for you to drive, one after the other. Two machines from two different eras, for two different racing experiences.
Scuderia Ferrari in our history is extremely important. Scuderia Ferrari was created in 1929, not far away from here. Enzo Ferrari himself was a driver. He started as a driver. So he created, and to stimulate the drivers, he was giving them and putting them in the best condition with the best car possible. Scuderia Ferrari was so successful. Enzo Ferrari has conquered the world from Maranello. This is an achievement which is unique and really makes the brand unique.
Scuderia is what started it all. To understand what fuels the creation of every Ferrari ever made, especially the supercars, the racetrack is an indispensable stop. Racing cars were Enzo Ferrari's passion and obsession. This is what led him to found the Scuderia in 1929, which has played a major role in racing history. And born from this racing division, Ferrari as a brand and factory of excellence was created a few years later. Racing is what led Ferrari to create cars, and eventually supercars. Without his racing spirit and passion, there would be no Ferraris as we know them. The Ferrari 365 GTB4 is the perfect vehicle for you to experience Ferrari racing as it felt back in the 70s, before switching for a car about 45 years its junior. There, for this second lap, you'll be driving the FXXK. This car is quite peculiar. Essentially a laboratory-enhanced version of La Ferrari, a supercar you'll get to meet later on. It didn't compete, per se, but this insanely powerful car was used for years as an R&D test car, allowing Ferrari to collect precious data to ultimately improve their next official racing cars, as well as the supercars. A Ferrari so extreme that it can never be driven on the road, nor qualify for any kind of official competition. But it's still a racing machine through and through. More than a car, the FXXK is an experiment for its makers and an experience for its drivers. is a peek at Ferrari's glorious racetrack heritage. A heritage in which supercars are inextricably tied up.
Happy to help.
Marvelous race driver. A moment I'll be thrilled to relate and store in my archives. Now, let's get our focus back to our supercar lineup. With the GTO, the F40, and the F50, we've covered all the Ferrari supercars born in the 20th century. We'll now get to talk about and drive the more recent 21st century supercars. Well, I'll talk, you'll drive. Let's get back to Maui. The next entry in our lineup and first supercar of the 2000s is a direct tribute to the Commendatore Enzo Ferrari. You guessed it. We're letting you get your hands on the 2002 Ferrari Enzo. And again, starting with a few words from our guest, Michele Pignati Marano.
What was the next name? The name was Enzo. Enzo Ferrari, I mean, It's the top of the names. You couldn't do anything better than that. If we look at it today, and you think it was presented in 2002, it is still a car which is modern, and it has more than 20 years, but it's still unique. It's still, everybody wants this car. There is no main evolution. It is all evolution. It's technological, it's design, it's the horsepowers we put in, everything, and that's what makes Edge Ferrari super.
Ferrari Enzo, fourth in the supercar bloodline, was just like her sisters before her, born from a strong desire to push supercars even further. As the first Ferrari of the century, and with a Scuderia on top of the racing world, the Enzo was meant to strike hard and set new standards for Ferrari cars, or rather, for the whole sports car industry. With the will to design, once more, nothing less than a road-legal Formula One, faster on the track but more civilized on the road, Ferrari went all out. And my word, did they deliver. The uncompromising design by Pininfarina, featuring noticeable air intakes and an F1-inspired nose, gives this car her aggressive, decisive, and impressive looks, while the engine is nothing short of engineering mastery, as you'd expect. Add to that better handling, better carbon brakes, and electronics that make the car as reliable on an everyday drive as it is savage on the racetrack. The latest 21st century tech, alongside the legendary Ferrari Fury. Nothing short of a new performance benchmark. Her name alone shows how confident Ferrari was about this car. Owning one of the 399 plus one Ferrari Enzos in existence is like owning a piece of car history. Or, dare I say, like owning a piece of art. Racing heritage, luxury, and exclusivity. This is Enzo Ferrari's legacy. after the beautiful tribute that was the Ferrari Enzo, the world had to wait more than 10 years to encounter a new Ferrari supercar. But eventually, the next generation arrived, and once again, caught everybody off guard. I'm talking about a car named La Ferrari, the Ferrari in English, which is currently waiting for you north of Maui. I'll let you drive there. Then we'll talk some more.
LaFerrari is the first Ferrari we have with an hybrid engine. If you come to our museum and you have the possibility of comparing and seeing the LaFerrari engine next to LaFerrari car, you won't believe that that engine is in that car. In that period, we were taking a lot of technology also from Formula One. And that's what the Ferrari is. LaFerrari is the first car, the first hybrid car, because we were taking the Formula One experience and transforming it and taking it to the road.
There it is. It's 2013, and a new supercar emerges from the Maranello factory. In an era of astonishingly intense competition, Ferrari still treated their rivals to a true tour de force, a car that reshuffled the cards yet again. The strongest naturally aspirated Ferrari V12 to date, marking Ferrari's first steps into hybrid technology. For the first time in the company's history, petrol and electric working together full-time to deliver unprecedented levels of performance. And on top of all that, LaFerrari sports an F1 kinetic energy recovery system that constantly recaptures waste energy, stores it, and converts it into bursts of power when needed. With LaFerrari, some lucky people got to witness technology peak improvements at both ends of the spectrum. Higher performance, lower consumption. Glorious achievement. Civilized, but also the fastest and most exhilarating road car ever made by the prancing horse, La Ferrari.
What makes Ferrari so unique? It is mainly the people. The people make the difference. And as Enzo Ferrari used to say, factories are made of wall, machinery, and people. Ferrari is made of people mainly. The people and the sense of belonging to Ferrari is something I think that is difficult to find in other companies, in other places. Our brand is the only brand that has such a strong passion. Thanks to the passion that is in the brand, the technology, the effort that the people put behind this brand and behind building a new car, the next one is the best.
Ferrari is a legendary sports car brand, born from the passion of a man. A passion for driving and racing. A passion for speed and competition. With the will to build cars, each one better than the last. Throughout the decades, this racing DNA never faded away. It informs every single decision made by the prancing horse. It fuels the relentless drive to explore car technology, to push it beyond and make it evolve, to design the most incredible cars in the world. Jewels of the road, champions of the racetrack. Ferrari. It is cars that have become pop culture icons. Cars that share a special bond with millions of people. Whether you own a Ferrari or not, the name Ferrari rings like no other. It impacts and fascinates children and grown-ups alike. It is part of a collective consciousness. Ferrari cars are a vector for dreams. They're modern legends, both real and mythical, in a way. They're an idea of what a sports car is, in both fiction and reality. Ferrari is, and this is putting it mildly, the epitome of luxury cars. With design that combines rage and glamour, each Ferrari is a piece of art. And from the higher end of the splendor spectrum, each drive is a statement. Essence of the racing spirit, pop culture phenomenon, state-of-the-art ambassador. The combination of all these attributes made Ferrari a car brand that reached millions of people and brought them together. People that have, over the decades, formed a community like no other. Devout, passionate, dedicated. Because once again, no need to own a Ferrari to be part of the Ferrari world. Through almost 80 years, Ferrari has shaped car history. And as I speak, it is shaping its future. A new chapter of the Ferrari supercars story is being written. Its title? F80.
It's a challenge to keep the legacy of the Ferrari brand alive. Thanks to the passion that is in the brand, the technology, the effort that the people put behind this brand and behind building a new car, the next one is the best. I hope you enjoyed driving our cars. They are unique, but why not come to our museum and see the real thing? Come and live the dream and come to the Ferrari museums. Arrivederci.
New challenges unlocked. New challenges unlocked.